Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in again. We have a pretty cool review for you guys today. What this is from a company called Carpodgo. This is their T3 Pro is what they call it. And what this is a wireless Android Auto or Apple Carplay device. And now, the reason this thing's so cool, not only do you get the big screen, which I'll unbox this thing in a second, show you what you get, but you can hook this up to any vehicle. You don't have to have Bluetooth necessarily. You don't really have to have anything. You can have a car that's 20 plus years old, plug this in, it goes and links to your phone, and you'll have wireless Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. So I'm going to open it up, show you exactly what you get all included with this thing. If you want to pick up your own after the video, you like what you see, in the description below will be a link to go and pick up one for yourself. Alright, so what we get here is a bunch of different stuff all included in this package. I'll quickly go over what everything is. Keep in mind, I've already unboxed this thing and played around with it myself a little bit, so the wires and the screen and everything all actually come pre-packaged like the wiring you see over here, but I peeled it all off because I was messing with it. So shipping wise, that's perfect, as well as this is the lid for the box. If you look underneath, this thing that says Carpodgo in here is like a soft foam. So you don't have to worry about anything hard rattling around on the screen, possibly causing damage during shipping, because that actually helps quite a bit. So in the box, of course, you get your screen, which I'll show you more of that once we get it hooked up. Here you get your 12 volt power cord. This is what's going to run it for the most part for almost every vehicle. You'll plug it in, and again, I'll go over more of that in a second. Also, you get your little analog wire here. Again, another option when hooking it up. I'll go over that once we get in the car. Here, you get a USB-A to USB-C. Again, we'll go over that once we get in the car. This is the coolest part of it, I believe. And what it is you plug it in, and this little receiver on the end here becomes your Bluetooth. So you don't necessarily have to have Bluetooth in the car. You can plug this into the screen. Your phone will then connect to here, and you can control this thing wirelessly over Bluetooth. So you get your wireless CarPlay and Android Auto on there, but you don't actually have to physically have Bluetooth in your car. So not only does the screen connect to a car with Bluetooth, but if you're not having a vehicle with it, this turns it into a Bluetooth vehicle. Then you keep coming along here. You get a couple different mounting options and some sticky pads here. Again, this is kind of your permanent. This goes with that, your permanent, pick a spot and that's where she sits mount. And then this one, I've got it all tightened up, but you can actually, this is your window mount. And this thing actually opens and closes. So with the magic of YouTube, I have it loosened up now, and you can see this part folds all the way up and down, and then the little ball on the end there, you can see it's got more space, opens, so you've got telescopic, forward and back, and then you can pivot up and down. So depending where you have this thing mounted, you can go a little higher, a little lower, closer to yourself, further away, and then you can get your technical adjustments once it's all wired up, because this can move in and out. Once you find your sweet spot, you tighten them back up, they won't move, and you're good to go. And then another cool feature is in this bag, I'll show you again in a little bit, is a backup camera. So what you can do is you can hook up this to your vehicle, connect it to the screen on one end, the camera on the other end, the red wire to one of your brake or your reverse lights, and when the car goes into reverse, the wire gets powered up, which tells the screen you're going in reverse, turns on the camera, and you'll actually have a backup camera using the screen. So another thing, if you don't have a backup camera, not only do you get wireless Android Auto or Bluetooth, or CarPlay I mean, but you also get yourself a free backup camera with the purchase of the screen. And then once you pull the screen out of the little box here, if you look on the back side, this is the other side of what those mounts will mount to, depending which one you're using. And basically, you just spin that, loosen it off, and say we want to use this mount, just for example. You just give it a little push, it clicks in there, You pick your spot where you want it. Again, with this ball mount, you can kind of pick and choose wherever you would like. So say we want it to go straight up like that, you pick that spot, you tighten this thing back down. Doesn't have to be super tight either, this is just one hand. Now you can see it doesn't move. We can actually pick up the screen. But the other thing with this mount is, say you have this mount permanently in your car, but maybe, you know, people nowadays, it could get stolen, people will break into your car for anything. If they're going to smash your window for the screen, that's a no-go. So what they've actually done is this mount is a very strong magnet. And by strong, I mean strong. You can see it's a little magnet around the outsides there, and you have a little indent, so it finds the sweet spot every single time. It'll be centered. You don't have to worry about being a little cockeyed one way or the other. It's going to find itself and it's going to center every time. So you can unplug this thing and bring it inside your house or wherever. Maybe you're at the store, you can bring it in with you. You don't have something that's going to be sitting in your car enticing people to break in and steal it. But like I said, this magnet is very stupid strong. It's more than enough to hold this thing, and as you can see, when you put it down, it moves the screen even. That's how strong it is. I don't want to throw the screen on the floor, but you can see it's going to find that spot, and all you got to do, pull it, it notches in, and you're good to go. Mount it into your vehicle. She's as straight as the day you put her in. Alright, so before we get into the other setup, I'm just going to quickly show you this one. We've got it set up to my wife's phone. This is actually her vehicle. So the talk and text won't work because my voice is going to be going through her phone. So it's going to be a little weird. But if you have this hooked up to just your phone, what we're doing now is basically we got the little Bluetooth dongle in here and just the power cable. The cable I've just got run over my leg right now, and it plugs in. The cigarette lighter 12 volt is right there in this car. So it's plugged in, powering it, and now basically what's happening is my wife's phone right here is connected along with my phone, connected to the device, and now it's connected to the Bluetooth dongle plus the vehicle, because the vehicle has your phone. You can connect your phone, make calls and stuff, but it doesn't have Android Auto at all. It just has the map as you see there. So what this is doing is the box or the screen is controlling the phone, which is talking to the car. So now when you're talking with Google and stuff, it won't work again because my wife's phone will pick up the voice. But if you ask Google a question, you can tell it to make a call, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's going to connect through the dongle to your phone. It's going to pick up in your phone doing the Android Auto thing, and it's going to allow you to make a call as well as use the controls here if you want. So you don't have to necessarily touch the screen, and if voice control is not working, you can come down here and actually use this. So the screen and everything they have set up with it is now controlling the vehicle through your phone and basically bouncing everything back and forth, so you're not having to use anything to use all the features of the Carpodgo. So it's just as if the screen was in your car, but you can put this wherever you want and move on from there. So I'm going to go outside and I'm going to hook it up the other way and show you how that works with my phone, and then you can decide which way you want to hook it up for yourself. And now moving to the side of the screen, you can see you got a bunch of different ports here, very clearly labeled. The bottom one is your power, USB-C, that's your power up to your 12 volt plug. Your second one is your audio, that's your aux cable audio, and that. The third one up is a VIN, that is for your reverse camera. That's where your camera will plug in if you're wiring it up to work with the screen. That's where you want to plug it in. Third is the mic, so when you're talking, this thing can hear you and it's going to do what it's supposed to do. And then fourth is USB, that's for the extra USB that came with it. The other USB-C to USB-A, if you're upgrading any software or anything like that on this thing, that's where you'll plug it in. Don't mix it up with the power one, it won't work. You want to plug it into the one that specifically says USB. And then top and bottom, you can see there's little vents built in for this thing to have a little bit of cooling. You're not going to overheat it. It's not going to shut off in the heat and ruin your day. It's just to keep everything cool. Top and bottom, plenty of ventilation in there. All right, so before we fire this thing up, I've got it sitting with the mount I showed you guys earlier in the video. Not mounted permanently, but that's how it's sitting for now. What they recommend, because this thing is not heavy, but it does have a little bit of weight to it, if you're going to use the other mount, this one right here, and actually connect it to your window or even your dash, so this can go on your dash with the other little mount. That's what this is for. They want you to 3M tape it down, so say we wanted it right there, and then this actually suctions to that pad like that. If you're going to use this one, because maybe your dash isn't set up quite right, you don't have a place to sit it, you got a lot more options for in and out and stuff with that one like I showed you. They do recommend, and especially if you're hanging it from your window, make sure the screen is touching your dash. You don't want it free hanging, because yes, the mount can hold it, but this does have weight, and with you driving and hitting bumps, it's going to do a lot of this, and eventually the mount will fail, and you don't want this thing falling off and hitting you. So mount it somewhere where the screen is actually touching the dash itself, wherever that is on your vehicle, just to support the weight, and let the mount be there just to hold it upright and in the position you want it to sit at. Alright, so the way I have this hooked up, now first of all I'm going to show you just how quick this starts up. I do have the wires just hanging all here. It's not going to be wired permanently into the vehicle, so I just have it as a hot mess here right now, but it'll give you the general idea of what's going on. So the one cable I got is your power cable. That's running down right here to my 12 volt. The other one I have hooked up is for the aux controller. So basically this is hooked up to the auxiliary radio in here. So then the sound that's coming out of the Carpodgo, which is connected via Bluetooth to my phone, now comes out of the speakers in your car. So like I said, I have it hooked up here. This little red button is on and an off. So we're going to turn it on, and when you hear the click, you'll be able to see just how fast it starts up. I have this connected to my phone already. That is super simple. It's the same as connecting to anything via Bluetooth. You just find the name, it's PND, and then a just random set of either 4 numbers, 4 letters, or a mix of both. So you're looking for PND, whatever it is, connect that to your phone, takes literally seconds, and you're good to go. But let's turn it on here. You can see it click through the radio because we're hooked up. That tells you that the audio is working. Carpodgo pops on, and away you go. Right away, automatically connects to your phone, and just like that, you're connected. And now you can see audio works. I got the most popular song right now playing. We're not going to keep that going, otherwise YouTube won't show you this video, but it's as easy as that. It's all touch screen as well. You can do that, and now you can see you're automatically connected. So this section is exactly like every other Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. It'll pop up like this. All your controls are there. You can use the voice recognition, either talk to it, or you can hit the voice and just talk, and same thing as if you're using it anywhere else, except now it's wireless on your car. So to get out of here, we'll go to show you the settings, because like I said, this is the same as any other vehicle. Go to here, get to exit, you go back to your home screen here. So what this is you're connected. Do you want to switch to CarPlay? Sure. Then you can see, please turn Bluetooth and Wi-Fi on your phone, then connect PND, and that number there is what it was, and this will reconnect us to my phone. So now, this is kind of if you were doing it initially. We'll go back out, get out of here. Bluetooth button, or your Android Auto button there, will automatically bring you here, even though it fires up itself. If you're back in the screen, you want to go back there, you just push that. The first one was to connect it initially. So again, we'll exit out of here. Here's your Bluetooth. This is kind of your whole settings screen, but it has a straight Bluetooth mode. So you can see Bluetooth is on. It's connected to my phone. Name, mine, like I said, PND. My specific one is 82AF. Auto Connect is on, and then you can clear the list if you want to do that. We'll go up to System Settings. This is where you're picking your language. We're English. And then of course, date and time as well. Pick the year, month, date, time, hour, minute, and whether you want your 12 or 24-hour clock, and then whether you're AM or PM. Go down here to display. Now you have brightness, night mode, and night shift. So for day brightness, again, up and down, I find usually around 70-75 is bright enough that it's not blinding you, but you can still see, like as today is a nice bright sunny day. Everybody knows when the screens go into the light, you kind of can't see it. Between 70 and 80, I usually leave around 75. It seems to work in all lighting around here. Night mode is the opposite. You want to be a little lower. You can see it's set to 40 because of course when it's dark out, you don't want this thing to be turned on like the sun because you're going to cook your eyeballs. So again, you can adjust it where you want it to be. Night shift is on right now. You can turn that on and off depending what you're wanting. And then you have 2 times set down here, hour and minute, hour and minute. So this is going off of the 24-hour clock. So basically from 6 o'clock at night till 7 in the morning, it's going to be in night mode. Now you can change that. It's 11 a.m. right now. So let's say we go here. And you can see now it's 11, and you can see how it dimmed quite a bit there. So now if we go back and we go into our auto here, now this is all in a night mode because it's thinking it's night, so it dims it down so you're not blinding yourself while you're doing that. So again, let's go exit out of here. We'll go back to the settings, go back to display, and we'll put it back up to say 20 o'clock, so 8 o'clock at night. We're in summertime now, stays bright out a lot longer. You can see right away it popped back up to the 75 adjustment that we had it at. Then you keep going down. Wallpaper, you can just pick a different background, whatever you want. There's a couple sets. And then logo, it's got a few cars built in here you can pick. We're in a Nissan, we'll go to Nissan. Set as logo, and you can see it's got the little yellow box around it. You chose the one you wanted. Carplay settings, we're not a right-hand drive vehicle. This thing does do 60 frames per second, so hopefully it's picking up how smooth everything is in the camera, because it's very smooth. There's no glitching, no wobbles, no nothing like that. And when you hit the button, it's in and out. And then 10-second timeout to return to CarPlay. I have that turned off right now just for video purposes, but basically if you're in this setting and that is on, after 10 seconds of not touching anything, it's going to automatically put you back to your Android Auto or whatever you're hooked up to and kick you out of this system settings part. Then you go to volume. You can choose your media, which is radio and stuff like that. Navigation obviously is your navigation, and your phone is your phone. So if you want your navigation to be a little bit louder, say you're listening to music and not really paying attention where you're going, we'll put that up. When you're driving around and it's telling you to turn left, turn right, it's going to be louder than your music and your phone. If audio output is where you can kind of pick some different modes here. So you can actually, right now I have it hooked up to the auxiliary mode, and that is because this doesn't have any sort of Android Auto or nothing. I can't plug my phone in and have Android Auto in here at all either. So when I hook it up to the auxiliary, it's just as if, say you had like an old iPod or something, some MP3 player, you plug it into your car. Same idea. So the Google or the Android Auto is connected to my phone, to the Carpodgo, and then the auxiliary cable now, because it can't connect to my car specifically, it is run through the audio through the auxiliary cord, so everything I hear through here comes out on the radio speakers. Like you saw, we were playing Eminem there a minute ago. Comes through nice and clear. It works great. And then of course the one last feature this comes with, which I'm not going to hook this up because my car has a backup camera, is this backup camera. It's built solid. It's made out of metal, metal hinge, metal everything. Your wire's in there, super strong, super sturdy. It comes with a couple screws and a little sticky mount or a sticky pad here. So say you're mounting it maybe in the back window, we'll just pretend this is the back window. You can stick it to the back and it's going to be there ready to record. And then basically to hook this thing up, You can find a lot of videos online about this, on how to do it, but first of all, this plugs into the camera port I showed you on the actual screen. Then you have this wire, which if I unrolled this, you got probably 20 feet of wire right here. It'll easily make it from here. You can tuck it nicely, run it along the bottom of your car to the back, and then basically all you got to do is this red wire. You want to find your reverse light, and you put this reverse light wire into the wire that's running your reverse light. You can find that, lots of videos on YouTube, how to splice in a wire. Some of them as easy as just put this in and click a plastic piece over and it's hooked up. And then basically when you put the vehicle in reverse and your reverse light comes on, it now has power, which powers this, which powers the rest of this. That's plugged into the screen. This portion will plug into the other half of the camera right here. And when the red wire gets power, feeds it through, camera turns on. When the camera turns on, now your reverse camera is kicked on and you're gonna have a backup camera right in the screen there. Nice high def, clear picture. But again, it's as simple as plugging it in, running your wires back, picking a place for your backup camera to sit where it's gonna see everything and work best for you. Screw it on, glue it on, whatever the heck the case may be, wherever you put this. It depends on your own personal preference again. But once that's done, you get a backup camera on your vehicle that may not have one initially. And then one last thing to note, you can see outside right now is 19 degrees Celsius, not extremely hot, but it's warm, especially when this thing is sitting right under the front windshield in the direct sunlight. You can see there's no shadows, it's sitting direct sunlight and it's still going. You can hold it, it's not warm. Obviously it's a little bit warm just from the sun, but it's not like overheating warm as if something was left out. It's not gonna cook, it's not gonna overheat and shut off. It's gonna work nicely. Like I showed you earlier, it's got the vents and stuff on top, keeping itself cool. It's not making any noise or anything like that. But like I said, direct sunlight, it's still working, and we've been filming here for probably about an hour, close to at least, and she's still going strong. So if you're worried about it overheating and possibly not working, if you're living in a warmer climate, I wouldn't worry about that part. All right guys, so there you go. As you can see, it works awesome. It's bright, it connects quick, it looks good, it works well, and again, you can literally connect this to any vehicle. I chose this method just for the video example because I figured most people buying this type of thing will probably have a similar setup to this, and then it's just a matter of hiding the wires and making it look good once you have it all set up and looking where you want it. And again, if you don't have Bluetooth or anything like that specifically on your car, they send you all the adapters, and this thing will literally work in any car. Unless you're driving something that's like 50, 60 years old, maybe not. But anything in the last 20, 25 years, 100% this is going to work. So if you don't have a brand new car, but you want Apple Carplay or Android Auto, this does both. I'm on an Android phone, so I showed you the Android version of it. But for Apple Carplay, it's the same idea. You plug it in, connect your phone. Super simple, just as like you're connecting to anything else. It'll be hooked up and right away fires up, knows what it's doing, it works, and it looks awesome. So if you want one, the link will be down below. It'll send you straight to pick one up for yourself. Yes, they are a little bit on the pricey side, but this thing compared to the competition just blows it right out of the water. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you have any other questions or I missed something or nothing is quite clear enough, drop a comment down below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Like and subscribe, and hopefully we catch you in the next video.